Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll be looking at how to create a repository from GitBash. Okay. In the last video, we saw how to create a repository from GitLab console. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure you are into your DevOps folder, export DevOps folder. When I say go to DevOps folder, you are supposed to do a cd export DevOps. It is better you always type it on the keyboard, everything, but you just need to make sure you do a cd export DevOps. And there is a white space character after cd. Cd is a command. This whatever command directory that you're typing, that's an argument. Okay. After that, you do a PWD to understand whether you are in the correct directory, correct folder or not. And then you need to make sure your repository, your folder contains custom VPC and default VPC. ls default VPC, I can put it. ls space custom VPC, I can put it, and I can see the content. Or you can say simply ls, and you can find out whether default VPC is present and custom VPC is present. That is a way you can verify it. Hope it is clear. If you don't have, what you need to do is you need to clone this particular repository, which is mine. See, whatever you see here, that group ID is my group ID. You can see that in this place. If I go to DevOps, you can see that there is a group ID which is there. The same thing, you can see it here, 8375310. 8375310. So whatever project that I create underneath, it will have the group ID as that one. So I also have other groups. If I go to this one, I can see multiple groups because I have created multiple groups here: DevOps training, cloud internship, like that I have created. So my repository, my group is always DevOps, D capital, O capital. Similarly, you will also have a group that is created as part of your prerequisite classes. If you haven't created it, you have to create that to start working on it. Okay, after you do a git clone of these two repositories, if it is not present, you are supposed to go to so this one is to get the unique ID of the group ID. That could be anything depending on your unique ID, depending on your URL. So I'll tell you explain once again. If you go to DevOps group, you will see on top, that is the one you need to copy. After the slash, after gitlab.com, after the slash, whatever is there, DevOps and number, that is your unique ID. And last, you have to check whether you have the SSH key created already, and that public key is already copied to your GitLab account. That is like do a cat tilt dot ssh id underscore rsa id underscore rsa dot pub. So both files are present. You just need to make sure this particular key file is present in your GitLab account or not. So what you need to do for that, you need to go to your profile settings, you need to go to preferences. From preferences, you need to go to you need to go to SSH keys. You have to find out that particular key is present or not. It's already present for me, that I can see it is here. So that is a way I can find out which is already present in my repository. For you, you will hardly have one or two keys. Maximum one key only you will have. At the worst case scenario, you may have two keys, but most of you will have only one key. So it is easy to just click on the SSH keys, SSH key, whatever is available, the title, and then cross verify your your key, SH or SCA, whatever is starting, it is better to do a Control F and copy this and put it in the Control F and start searching. So if it is matching, you already have the associated private key, associated public key. Uh, for that, you will have a private key in your local machine. The associated private key here, it is there. I'll also quickly take you through the how SSH authentication works, because you need to have that particular understanding. I'll go for the slideshow. Okay, here. See, what happens is you're copying your public key to the remote machine authorized keys file. Here, there are two things. One is you can copy to GitLab. GitLab is also a server, right? What is EC2 instance? EC2 instance is also a server. Just give me a second. Uh, EC2 instance is also a server. You're able to hear me, right? Suhas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So EC2 instance is also a server. Your GitLab repository is also a server. That is why we are able to copy the public key to the remote machine. From there, we are able to access through local SSH or local GitLab commands. What happens is when you create a connection, you send a connection request, and then the public key sends some hello message. Then what you need to do is so this will be encrypted. Whatever message that public key is sending, that is encrypted message. You need to decrypt. That means your private key needs to decrypt this information, unless until if it is the same associated public key, this and this are same, then only you will be able to decrypt that and then send back. That is the decrypted. You're able to decrypt and read that message. Then only the authentication is successful. Okay. Any questions on this? I'm going back to the next step. You're defining the variables, old repo name, new repo name. These are the shell variables that you are to declare. And you have to define your git underscore group like this. Okay. The thing is, now we are looking at how to get the git group ID. So how to create these variables? It is very simple. You just need to copy paste this information, or you have to just type it old underscore repo name like that. You have to type it simply. That is pretty simple one. Like that. Similarly, you can also create new repo name my-default-vpc. So you can just simply change it to this one and add my-default-vpc. Git underscore group equals. You can put the group URL, whatever you have, whatever is yours. like that. You can copy. Otherwise, you can go to groups. You can click on DevOps. You can get the ID. Now you can get these values like this: echo, whether you have defined correctly or not, old repo name, new repo name, and git underscore group. So you should be able to see the values by doing echo and then dollar. Dollar is going to retrieve the value of the variable that you declared. Okay, going ahead with the next step. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Then you just need to copy the git underscore URL here like this. So if you do a echo dollar git underscore URL, you will see the new URL also. You just need to make sure you are in the correct directory or not in the next step. So you should be under the export DevOps folder. See, hope it is very clear to you. So I'm just trying to make sure you're not changing to any directory. You are in export DevOps folder. Then do a copy of default VPC to my default VPC. Simply cp-r default VPC. Remove the slash in the end. So you can also type it this way: default VPC once again, and then just put a my dash in the front, so that the copying is easy. The getting the folder name is easy. Then what you need to do is you have to go to the new repo name. Simply say cd new repo name. It will automatically take you to the my default VPC because your variable is already declared new repository. Then just remove the .git folder, which is actually pointing to the old Git repository. So if I do a cat .git /config, it will show me the old repository reference default-vpc.git. That is not supposed to be the right one. That is not the correct one. So what we will do is I'll do ls-al. I'll remove rm-rf.git. So just make sure before this I'm putting a hash. Just make sure you are in the correct directory, my default VPC, that you are going to push it, and then do rm-rf.git. After that, what you need to do is you need to copy the .git ignore file if it is not present. Okay, if I do ls-al, I will see the .git ignore file. I'll tell you what is the purpose of .git ignore. This .git ignore file will ignore some of the files which are big in size, which are not required to be checked into the repository. So it could be some plugin information, it could be some other Terraform state file, or some other private key files, whatever. I mean, whatever is not relevant for your development, you are supposed to ignore those files, so that when you do a git push, it will ignore these files. Is it clear? I'll just type it here. Echo usage of .git ignore file is when you do git push, it will ignore files mentioned in the .git ignore files. Is it clear? The next step would be git init. to initialize the repository, local repository. So I am in the correct folder. I am doing a git init. So now if you see a ls-al, you will see a .git folder created. If you do a .git/config, you will not see any remote repository information. That we have to add it. That is why we have the next command. So we have completed this also. The next one is to save the local information, whatever information that you just created. You just need to do a git add space dot git commit to make sure the repository information, whatever you copied, is saved and added and saved. I'll say my default VPC. Everything is in create mode, but only thing is we need to make sure we configure the repository information here. For that, what we need to do, git remote add origin URL. That step is missing here. Okay, here it is. So we'll have to create a branch main so that it is pointing to main. So you can check the branch details like this. Branch -a branch get branch will show you the list of branches available. After that, what you do is git remote add origin URL. So this we already have a git underscore URL variable already declared. So before that, what you can do is you can do a dollar git underscore URL. So it should show the proper this thing. So I'm doing a git remote add origin git underscore URL. Now if I do a cat, I'll see that this information is added. URL will be this one. Whatever changes that you do, it will go to the origin from where it has come. Origin means from where it has originated. That's what it means. So it has to go to there, and it has to come from there. When you do a git pull, it will come from here. When you do a git push, it will go here. Then you just need to do a git push -u origin main. So we are just saying -u origin where it has to go. It has to go to this origin. What is a branch? It is a main branch. If I do that, I will see a repository created here. So you see AWS models EC2 creation week 1 agenda only, but you will see one more repository being created. One more. Okay. I have a problem because I don't have the permission to push it. It could be because of I have too many repositories created, but you will not have any problem while you are pushing it. If I change to other group, it will automatically work. So if I copy this particular group URL, for this I have necessary permissions. I'll change it into this. When you have problem like that, you just need to make sure you change this. Most of the times you will not get this problem because you are working in a single GitLab group. So you can see that it is already completed. My default VPC was successfully created. My default VPC must be okay. Here it is. You can see that it is created 28 seconds ago. The next thing that we need to do is only pretty simple ones. GitLab group in the console for the new repository that we have already checked, and git branch -a. Okay, what you're supposed to do is, see, now you can see remote C origin main. That means main is the one without any suffix prefix. It is a local repository, local branch. One with starting with the remote, that is a your remote branch. So this one is local, this one is remote. Okay, with this I'll conclude today's call. If you have any doubts, just make sure you reach out to me. You will be using custom VPC instead of default VPC for your repository creation. See, for example, everything needs to be uh, repeated for the custom VPC. Okay, is it clear? Any other doubts?